Henry. Oh, my. Just got in there a little bit too hot, or I don't know. I'm not really sure what could have happened. Maybe something broke, but it looked like coming into the final corner. Rico looks to the inside of Zeb. Why? Oh, short. A slider came up a little bit short. Rico actually got upside down, was looking at the sky there, and then the aid of Eliason came in with a head of steam there and gets into Rico, sends him upside down. Rico looking at the sky there, doing the old wheelchair there, and here comes Eliason trying to avoid, gets into him and tips it over on its side. You see here.
Well, like Brandon said, looks like a guy got in the grease getting in. He went in a little soft in a one, and that probably got him to slide, and next thing you know, the air gets off his wing or whatever happens.
I believe 5th position. Oh, and it looks like the axle snapped potentially on the 17. He went into turn number 1. That race, as we take a look at a replay here on Flow Racing, Schoenberg gets tight right there in the center of 1 and 2. Wheelies and left rear contact to what looked to be maybe I couldn't tell it was happening so fast. Left rear to maybe the right rear of James Rico Abreu. He was just up the road from your race leaders, and right there from that angle, it looks like he was by himself. I didn't see anybody really close to him, and Tom Cam's replay here as Tanner Holmes makes a big move here on Hunter Schoenberg, but gets a little bit too sideways. Can't hang on to it there, Dylan, and just peck with literally no relay on Flow Racing. It's going to be off of turn number 4, so over on the top left of the screen, I believe. Yes. So it looked like somebody was throwing up a slider there, Dylan, but that car did not make contact with him. Yeah, it looked like Tanner Thorson, but it looked like Martin had hit the wall before that. What exactly happened here? McFadden with the lead. Here comes Sweet with a run to the inside. McFadden, I mean, he's just trying to run the middle there, and maybe Brad kind of missed the bottom a little bit, but you see let's see what happened here. He's fighting with Chris Windham, and as he mentioned, he got tight and then gets up into that crumbly stuff up there and just cannot turn after that, and man, did he get a big piece of that catch fence right there.
Yeah, and I don't know. Rear. He was next to Windham, and I don't know if he maybe thought Windham.
We'll get a good look at it here.
Yeah, wow. There he goes.
I was wondering what that flashing light was, and then,
So just like he said, he sailed it off in there and then just kind of caught the wall with the right rear, and it just pulled him right.
This red flag. He looks to the outside, the sunshine, and like you said, Dylan, he's going to go straight to the top. He enters in right on it, just clips the wall. It brings that front end around. Right front catches the wall. He climbs up and goes in for you. We'll see what happened to Park here. Probably going to catch the tail end of it here. Oh, wow. He spun out going into turn number 3 and backed into the wall and got upside down. We'll see what happened to Spencer Baston. And, he made some contact there with Ryan Timms and did a little backflip somersault there and landed on his racing. This is towards the front of the field, yes. And, hard to tell what exactly happened there. Definitely some contact between the 50 and the 14. And Todd King, we saw him come across there definitely with a flat right rear tire. Casey Kane might have a flat right rear as well. He got a piece of that action in car number 9. And I don't see Kane on the racetrack right now. Instant replay here as McKenna Hassey gets into that bump, and I was, man, oh man, that thing just kept on going and did not stop. And Brenham Crouch. And Crouch got the wall right there. Brenham Crouch hit the wall. Tanner Thorson, absolutely no place to go. Got into the back of the slow 3 and 4, and Kyle went to kind of return the favor. There was kind of a slower slider on the entry, and then he came up pretty abruptly there towards the end to try and cut off the 23 of Cale Thomas, and they kind of meet in the middle there, and wow, quite the ride there for Kyle.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought this one. Going for the final transfer spot. Just got into it there off of turn 4, and away he goes.
What a dodge by Emerson Axon right there. The 5 Ds of dodgeball: dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge.
Knocked the bleeder out of the left rear. You see that bouncing around there as he comes to a stop, and he did get a piece of the fence.
I mean, Tom Hansing didn't even move.
No. Well, that's nothing for Tom. He's had a car come into the flag stand for him.
For Kevin Newton, potentially, as we take a look at the replay, what happened on Flow Racing. Newton just gets on the gas, and the car comes around on him, gets into Ryan Newton. Newton on Newton violence down there in turn number 4. Great wreck avoidance right there by the 35 of Austin Bishop to make his way around the outside. We'll have to take a look and see how the 66 of Ryan Newton looks, as he got drilled right. And unfortunately, we hope to see him make it back out for the B main as we get a look at it here. Wow, just goes into the corner. Man, that was a bigger ride than I thought it was. I thought it was a little Tommy tip for Will Armitage. Here's a better look at it as Armitage makes his way into turn 1. Car right in the middle. Looks like Casey Kane kind of bobbled in front of him, maybe slowed him down and brought him down the racetrack a little bit there, and it was the 22 replay. Parker Price Miller tried to put a move on Howard Moore the prior corner there, and then Brian Brown tries a slider. It's not clear, and they both go over the banking, and Parker Price Miller gets Brent Marks. Should be at the... right there at the top of your screen, and then Marks just comes into the corner and, just makes a mistake. He wasn't really close to any other cars down there, just kind of hopped over the edge of that replay right now. You're going to be looking at the 88 car of Tanner Thorson. He'll be on the top of the racetrack, right side of your screen right now, gets over the cushion, gets sideways, comes down the track trying to correct the mistake, and McFadden comes around at full song. Front row was Logan McCandless, and Kelby Watt got a good start around the outside, but then Balog goes to the bottom and actually gets into the pole sitter, that being Jordan Ryan. Look at the rear end come blowing in there. And he goes down there and just they kind of meet in the middle a little bit there. And, man, and look at that rear end, how high in the air it was there, Blake.
That nearly cleared the fence.
Look at this right here. Look how high that ear. Oh, my God. It was over the fence.
Look how high the rear end was.
And T car. He'll be towards the tail of the field here. Goes into turn one. And hard to see what happens to start it.
It looked like it sat on the right rear just as he was going off screen.
Yeah, well, here's a better angle of it. Oh, yeah.
Look at it, yeah.
Well, it started turning back to the left there right before hitting the wall. Let's see what happened. And, wow, good shot from the drone here as Cole goes into the corner and just, I think it's a little bit of error right there.
Yeah.
Error, and it just put him right in the wall. As he said, it never turned until it hit the fence.
Watch the tail tank. It doesn't even really fly. It just drops right off, right there. Just leaves it there.
Wow. And look how far he comes down the track here. A couple cartwheels. And they go into turn one. Schoenberg with Caleb Henry right behind him. Goes into the corner. And I don't know. He looked pretty far away to be getting caught up with dirty air there, in my opinion, Blake. So we'll see another angle and see if we can see something different here from the Jeff Converse angle in turn one.
Just maybe got in a little hot. And here comes a slow-mo.
Yeah, tough to tell. I think just maybe misjudged it a little bit.
A lot of times you hear drivers talk about what just happened there. They get that right rear end of the wall and it just pulls.
Going into turn one, he sees Gravel's nose, I'm sure, right there coming off four. Goes into the corner, right rear, just misjudged it. I mean, look very similar to what Schoenberg did.
One thing I think that needs to be factored in. So Gio, before that yellow, or the red there, hit the wall pretty good with that right rear.
Oh, yeah.
Might have knocked some things out of balance because he hadn't really hit the high. It speeds like they're running right there. Had not entered turn one at that kind of speed.
Yeah, that is a good point.
So you have to wonder if that changed things.
Florida. Here is the replay. If you're at the track watching, check out the big screen in the infield. McFadden comes up racetrack, and it's right rear to left front contact. Probably folded up the front end on that Rudzik Excavating 40 on the left side of your screen here. Probably middle of the pack and spit. Ooh. Man, almost looked to me, if we could play that back one more time, it looked like Brandon almost came down the track a little bit as Hartlub was also coming up track there. Yeah, I mean, it looks like maybe he was going to the bottom. I'm not really sure. That's hard to say. But as you could see, man, that thing went for a ride. There goes the tail tank. I mean, that thing went flying as well. And, Tony, you can vouch for, man, I bet you the Mercedes Motorsports number 42, Lynch rolling the bottom, almost gets by Sweet right there. And Corey Day comes down racetrack to cross up a slider that was thrown on him by Sweet. And he had no result for him over there. And here's the replay, Brad. We'll see what happened.
And right now you can see it's a little narrow on the interior one as he gets to the curb and slides up to the fence and gets tied on the right front and digs in. You don't really see that type of bike here at the Thunder, where usually it's right rear makes contact, not.
A tough way to start this thing is we'll try and get a look at it for Spencer Baston and see what happened. Just got into the wall there, Brad, and got upside down. I didn't see what happened to Corey Eliason. That was like a separate incident with Eliason back behind. Here's Eliason right here. Oh, wow. Oh, so that's what got Spencer. That's what he was talking about right there. We didn't see that on the first replay, so that's what Spencer was talking about, him and Brenham Crown. In high-level racing point standings, here is a replay as to what happened to the number one car. Goes into turn one, sets the car, hooks the cushion, and starts hopping right there, and after that does a couple of barrel rolls. Flow Racing Replay GT, let's see what happened here. Going into turn one, and Freitas slides up the track, comes down, gets into Hopkins, didn't see that part.
I missed that too originally, but yeah, just kind of, 3 or 4 cars going for the same piece on the DOC duties here tonight as we take a look at a replay. And yeah, Tom's just got that thing pitched sideways.
Boy, that car just snapped around, and then Brian McGann Jr. full send into turn number 4 and really hit the 35 km super hard there. He'll come into your screen, bam, right there. And then the other 2 cars should be fun.
Winner this year in 2024. Here's a replay, Ben. Let's see what happened to him. just biked it up.
Got on the bike and got in.
Got up on the bike, was ringing the bell on the handlebars, and tipped her right on the exact same thing.
Yeah, just going. I mean, you nearly went 3 wide for the race lead here. And then Wise got in front of Cox.
Then.
Yeah, Brooks in the Wheatley Motorsports number 45.
And bikes up.
Just by no contact bike, kind of like Shane Golobic a little bit.
I like Shane Golobic. We'll see if we can get a good look at it here. So there is your second and third place cars. We're going to see the tail end of it here, Ben. Oh, man.
And then just look at when he goes over, they're just...
We'll see what happened to Zeb Wise. Was running around the top 5 at the time of this incident. Goes into the corner and just loops it around, does a wheelie, and tries to do a backflip right there, Ben. Very Forney Industries speed shot. And you'll see Veal, he's going to be towards the tail end of the field here. And there he gets into the wall. And, yeah, like you said, just a driver error there, Ben. Just gets up too high. And Harbor is the difference is as the banking goes up the track. Once it gets to about 1.5 lanes off the wall, that banking starts to kind of shelf off, and that you can see it right there. Parker gets off of the kind of the season at Skagit, 3rd on July 13th, and Caleb, here's a look at the crash.
And you watch it go down and through, and when you get a flip of this kind of velocity and this kind of impact, it's not just the frame and the components of the frame you worry about, but it's the...
Starts with your second place car, Jesse Schlottfeld, goes into turn 3, gets, I don't know what happened there, gets sideways, picks up the front wheels, collects Thompson, collects Jock Goodyear. What a wild series of rollovers there from Spencer Baston. We'll get one shot here from turn 1.
It's interesting, like the sideways kick that the Schlottfeld car took was almost in turn with like the left rear shock unloading and kicking the back end of that thing cattywampus. I wonder if the rebound of that shock shocked him as we sent things down to Tony Laporta.
I got Spencer Baston. He's out of that CJB number 5 car. Spencer for
slow racing replay. Brooks is racing with Brad Sweet down the backstretch, and that's a oh, and when? How is Sweet's car even moving still? And you could, man, oh man, here's a good angle of it, Caleb. Ooh, how is Sweet's car even still rolling?
Well, I got to wonder about the front.
Replay here on Flow from the Forney Industries speed shot, and he's going to be right there. Just kiss the wall. Little Tommy tip over there for Mike Brown, comes to rest on the side of the car. Hit the inside berm there, Caleb, came straight up into the wall.
Up, over, and down as gently as it could.
Racing replay, let's see what happened, Blake.
Keep an eye on Parker. He comes, oh boy, just contact racing for third. Tanner Holmes, nowhere to go. Big Mike spins to avoid, as you can see.
So Mike Brown will get his spot back as we get a look from our Forney Industries speed shot. Really nowhere to go for Holmes as PPM and Zeb Wise got together racing for the 3rd spot. Ooh. And Tanner Holmes, that Knoxville paint scheme that he busts out here. Right side of your screen, second to last car in line. Halligan goes into the corner and just gets into the, man, that thing whipped around hard right there.
I mean, the right rear.
Sounds like we want to keep it on the 33, or the 55, I should say. Dallas shot. Yeah, just went in the corner, got into the left rear. Oh, my goodness.
Wow. That is a hard lick. I like to.
Already on the wall, and it hooks him in, and he climbs up on top.
And this was pretty much going down the back straightaway right there. That left front hooked in. And, man, he's just hanging on for a ride. And that last
is a replay. Corey Day is going to be right there on the top of the racetrack. Just gets into the wall and gets the right rear. Man, oh, man. Almost went out of the park, much like what we saw last night with Devin Borden.
And how about the heads-up?
Diagonal angle here on the opposite end of the racetrack here. He's on the top of the track right there, just gets sideways, bikes up, and does a pretty vicious barrel roll right there. And we'll see what happened to Corey. Goes into the corner, runs the, oh, my goodness. I think the axle just broke in half right there. I mean, it looked like the tire, the axle was still connected to the wheel. And we'll see here again. Yeah, you can see that like silver part in the middle of the wheel. I'm guessing that's the part of the axle that broke off there. Man, did he go for a wild ride outside the track over there. I was watching a battle a little bit farther back, and see what happens here, Tim. He's going to be at the pretty far right of your screen there next to Justin Peck. Oh, wow. Okay, it looks like Cameron Key got over the right rear of McFadden and came up into the side of Boguski. So definitely a domino effect there, causing Scott to get into the catch here. And we'll see the replay here. McFadden was running 5th at the time behind Emerson Axum. Enters in on the top, as he mentioned there. Brad tries to go to the bottom. They get together, and McFadden goes for an absolutely wicked ride Very, very reminiscent of what we saw back at Salina High Bank Speedway in Oklahoma. McFadden gets a piece of the catch fence there at the very end of that, but man, you hate to see